Marvel Rivals beta came out recently. It started making me think
People
about first
often mistake
impressions.
empathy for weakness.
And this first impression is a mixed bag, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's a great game with a lot of
30
potential,
seconds before you attack.
but the whole key
Get ready.
situation, with how beta keys were dropped and acquired, kind of leaves a bitter taste. And for that bitter taste, you really need a quality product for you to forget that. I just don't think that this beta in particular is hitting that quality that would make you forget something. Something so frustrating. Start with the positives. And maybe it's contentious, but I really think that the destructible environments make it stand out in the hero shooter genre. Like, it really pops, and I just love that in games in general. And the fact that they went all in with it, they have a specific button that you can just press, it highlights every single thing that can be destroyed. You can learn it by heart because of this button, and then you don't ever have to use it again. You can always use it as an, oh, is this a thing I can do? Like, it's great. I'm so happy that they went all in with it. I'm so very happy with the design of the maps and how it works with a destructible environment. Compared to Overwatch or any other game like this, the amount of avenues that you have in order for you to be able to get on point and contest objectives, like, it's amazing. There's still some sore points on some specific maps, but for the most part, I'm just in love with the amount of open space and the amount of different paths that you can take to point. I just also love hero combinations, and just the idea that every single person just gets a button that lets them pop off. I love it. I think there's too few of them, and I think that because they're not balanced, some people might have a problem with that. I think if everybody gets this button, and everybody can at one point just be the big superstar without having to invest in ultimate, I think that's great. I just want pure chaos. I don't think this game is like made for a pure competitive, we gotta make everything balanced, everything fair to play. I don't think that's ever the scene of it, and I think that's okay. I think that makes it better. I think it has a strong IP behind it. It doesn't need to be a game where the consistency is what draws players. Like, no. The characters are going to draw the players. All you have to do is make playing the characters fun and engaging. And it doesn't matter how many times like you get knocked down. Like, if you have one moment where you actually get to live out the fantasy of your character, like, you're going to remember that. It's quite fun to play. And it's very reminiscent of old Overwatch 6v6. But there are problems that are apparent, and the polish just isn't quite there. And because of these problems, the actual future of this game is a little hazy for me at the very least. First, there's the performance issues, and yes, it's a beta, so these issues can be solved. But most modern games, for some reason, just decide that they're gonna be very inefficient with the amount of resources that they force you to use, because they just expect you to have a good computer. I really wish that wasn't the case. I understand it. I understand that they can work on it. I'm very much not hopeful because I've seen what happens. Second of all, I think just the gameplay design and just the way that the game was designed with the maps in mind is great. But character design is lacking. And it shows that there was kind of a disconnect between the people making the maps and maybe making the characters. Because the characters seem very much samey, very much like their gameplay loops are very similar and tied to each other. There's very little uniqueness. So many ultimates in the game are just very large area of effect circle, does damage, don't stand in it, clutter all over the screen because of how large everything is. How fast ultimates build means that you're just tossing them out left, right, and center, so you're seeing them all over the screen every single time. There's no discernible voice cue between whether it's your own team using the ultimate or it's the opposing team using the ultimate. Sometimes you're just gonna get bamboozled by it. There's a lot of quality of life features that should have already been in the game because they've been solved by others for years at this point. It's not just the ultimates. The way that Black Panther, Hulk, Venom, Spider-Man, these characters play pretty much the same. Like, even Magic is kind of the same. I mean, there's a lot more individuality in it because of, like, the little demon that you can spawn, the actual difference in your ultimates. Like, yeah, sure. But their loop is the same. They jump in, they jump out, they try to get as much value as possible. They're mostly melee on you. When they do jump on you, you're gonna have to turn around and around again. I'm just not sure how they're supposed to be unique. And that's a big problem in a hero shooter. Everything is supposed to feel like it has a place, it has a reason to be there. There's many characters that are just the same. There's 2 healer ultimates that are the same. Why do so many characters have an ability to float in the air? Why isn't that tied to just like specific ones? I don't really understand. There's a lot of good that it shows. It shows promise, but it also shows a lack of ambition. It shows a lack of actually trying to push the game forward, and it's trying to cash in on what's worked before with a little bit of distractible environment, but it just doesn't want to take the lead of being its own thing for some reason.
Healing? Looks like the mission area is now.
Maximum pulse!
I needed some help, didn't you? Let me help. You made me angry. The mission area is yours. Let me help.
Need some ranged firepower.
Team player, that's me.
I
just got more dangerous.
They will find my clothes. So,
Hey, Teeny, enjoy the amplifier.
Help is
it
here.
seems we have company.
My
I
magic
can
is
heal,
gone.
you know. I'll patch you up.
You don't have to fight alone.
Don't mind me. I'm just dying. Watch this spot.
We are undefeatable! We captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Down.
I can't move.
Chin up. You made me angry.
Fight by my side.
You needed some help, didn't you?
I will strike even harder. Your best. I'm hunkering down.
Be careful here.
Focus on the battle.
High caliber. Targets down.
Glory's almost yours.
This is real firepower.
Perfect. Hex!
By the eye of...
You don't have to fight alone.
Relay deployed.
Let me help.
Magneto! I'm doing this my way!